My beloved, come closer to me. Come into the warmth of my voice. Come into the shelter of the love that has followed you since the moment you first opened your eyes to this world. For I have seen you wandering with that quiet ache in your chest, wondering if abundance would ever find you, if safety would ever wrap itself around your trembling days, if hope would ever bloom in the dry soil of your waiting. And I need you to hear me now, my child, with the softness that only truth can bring. Cherished one, please take your golden card with endless money, not as a thing of this earth, not as something measured in coins or bills, but as the symbol of all the provision heaven has whispered over your life since before you knew what need was, as the sign that you are not forgotten, not forsaken, not drifting alone in a world too heavy for your small, tired hands. My little one, this golden card is not about wealth that fades or treasures that rust. It is the divine reminder that nothing you require will ever be denied to you, that you will never walk empty through a desert without manna falling into your reach, that you will never stand before a closed door without a miracle pressing its hand to the latch, opening a way where no way existed. I know what you have carried. I know the nights where you cried quietly so no one would hear. I know the mornings where you rose with a weight on your chest because you feared you did not have enough strength, enough courage, enough resources, enough hope. And I want you to know that in every moment you felt poor in spirit, heaven was gathering riches around you, riches of protection, riches of guidance, riches of unseen support stronger than the mountains that seem to tower over your heart. My child, do you remember how Elijah was fed by ravens in a time when there was nothing? How the widow poured oil that never ran out? How the Israelites found manna falling from a sky that moments earlier looked empty and silent? Those were not stories far away from you. They were reflections of what still moves through your life even now. The same God who parted seas still parts shadows for you. The same God who multiplied loaves still multiplies your strength. The same God who lifted Peter from the waves still reaches for you each time you feel yourself sinking beneath the pressures you never wanted to face. You are not alone in any of this, my beloved. You never have been. Even when you felt abandoned, even when you feared you were praying into a hollow silence, even when you felt that the world overlooked you, divine provision was being prepared like a table set in secret, waiting for the moment your weary feet would walk through the door. My little one, the golden card I place in your hands is the eternal promise that you will always have what you need. Love when you feel empty, guidance when you feel lost, strength when you feel weak, protection when you feel exposed, peace when your heart trembles, and provision when your worries rise like threatening winds. You have lived through seasons where you felt your resources, emotional, spiritual, physical, were stretched too thin, and yet here you are, still breathing, still rising, still searching for light, and that alone is proof that heaven has held you tighter than you realized. My beloved, you have been protected from dangers you never even knew were approaching, guided away from paths that would have harmed you, surrounded by angels when you thought you were standing alone, and lifted by unseen hands when you believed you would fall. I have watched you persevere through storms that should have broken you, through losses that tore at your spirit, through disappointments that made you question your worth, and still you kept moving, still you kept hoping, even if hope was only a faint, fragile spark inside you. My child, lean closer now, for I want you to feel the truth in this moment. Abundance is not something you must chase. It is something that has been chasing you. Blessings are not things you must beg for. They have already been written into your story. Providence is not something you must earn. It is something that belongs to you because you are deeply, irrevocably loved. This golden card, this symbol of endless supply, is heaven's way of reminding you that nothing can separate you from the flow of grace prepared for your life. You have walked through scarcity, yes, through loneliness, yes, through uncertainty, yes, but you were never walking without divine eyes watching over you, without divine hands steadying you, without divine promises moving ahead of you, clearing paths you didn't know needed to be cleared. My beloved, allow yourself to breathe again, to release the fear that has lived too long inside your tender ribs. Allow yourself to trust that what is coming will not harm you but bless you, that the opportunities forming in the unseen are shaped exactly for your growth, your healing, your restoration. Allow yourself to believe that the same God who turned water into wine can turn your exhaustion into renewal, your confusion into clarity, your fear into faith, your scarcity into overflow. You have been so strong for so long, my child, and now it is time to let divine provision hold you, to let divine guidance carry you, to let divine love reassure you that you are not walking toward emptiness but toward abundance, not toward loss but toward fulfillment, not toward darkness but toward light. My little one, take this golden card that I place gently into your hands. Feel its warmth, feel its promise, feel its assurance that you will not be left without what you need. Hold it not as a physical object, but as a sacred reminder that you are eternally provided for, eternally protected, eternally cherished. You have been living with the fear of what if I don't have enough, but now heaven whispers, you will always have enough, because you belong to love, and love does not abandon its own. Rest now, my beloved, in the abundance that is rising for you, in the blessings forming quietly around you, in the protection that walks beside you like a guardian made of ancient light. My beloved, let me continue speaking to you with the same tenderness that has followed your steps since the beginning, because I feel the trembling in your spirit, that quiet mixture of longing and doubt, hope and exhaustion, and I want you to sink deeper into this moment with me, deeper into the warmth that has been pursuing you even when you felt unworthy of it, for you are not walking alone, my child. You are wrapped in a love so gentle and so powerful that it has held back storms meant to break you and has guided you through nights that felt too long for your fragile heart to bear. And as I whisper to you now, cherished one, I ask you softly, in this moment only, to subscribe so that you may continue receiving these messages of comfort and light. Not because I need it, but because I want you to remain connected to a stream of words that remind you of your worth, your strength, and the divine care that surrounds you. And I will not mention this again in the future, for this request belongs solely to this breath, this moment, this gentle crossing of our hearts. My little one, let me pull you even closer now, closer than your fears, closer than your doubts, closer than the voices that once told you that you were not enough, because I have seen every moment where you hid your pain behind quiet smiles, every moment where you tried to be strong for others while your own strength was thinning like a fragile thread. And I need you to understand that even in the moments where you felt emptiness stretching inside you, heaven was preparing fullness for you. Even in the moments where you felt abandoned, angels were gathering around your weary steps. Even in the moments where you felt you were losing everything, you were actually being led to something that could never be taken away from you. My beloved, take my words into the softest part of your heart, that place where you still feel small, still feel breakable, still feel afraid of the future, because that is where I want to plant the seed of assurance, the seed of divine protection, the seed that whispers, you are safe, you are guided, you are provided for. You have walked through seasons where every day looked like a question without an answer, where every night felt heavier than the last, and yet you continued, my child. You continued even when your own heart begged you to stop. You continued even when hope felt far away. You continued even when you doubted whether anything would ever change. And I want you to know that heaven saw that perseverance. Heaven honored that endurance. Heaven held you through nights where you believed no one was listening. My little one, your strength did not go unnoticed. Your tears did not fall unseen. Your prayers did not rise into silence. They rose into the hands of the one who multiplies loaves, who parts seas, who lifts the weary from the dust. My child, let this continuation flow over you like healing water, for I am not here to remind you of what you lost, but of what still awaits you. I am not here to tell you that you must work harder or try more, but to remind you that grace does not require performance. It requires trust, and trust is something your heart has always had, even in its most fragile moments. You may not see it, but you have a resilience that astonishes heaven. You carry a softness that angels defend fiercely. You hold a light inside you that darkness has tried to extinguish again and again, but has never succeeded in dimming. My beloved, you have believed that your blessings were far from you, that abundance was something reserved for others, that miracles were stories from ancient days, but I need you to hear me. Miracles still breathe around you, abundance still rises beneath your feet, blessings still reach toward you like dawn reaching toward the horizon. My little one, when I speak of your golden card with endless provision, I am not speaking of earthly wealth that fades like dust in the wind. I am speaking of the unending flow of spiritual, emotional, and divine supply that pours over your life no matter what circumstance tries to convince you otherwise. There is nothing you will face that you must face empty-handed, nothing you will walk through that will leave you without what you need. You have stepped into situations that felt too heavy for a single heart to carry, and yet you carried them. And now you are stepping into a season where what once weighed you down will become the place where you rise, where what once frightened you will become the place where you find courage, where what once hurt you will become the soil for new beginnings. My child, listen to me with your spirit, not just your ears, because what is being spoken to you now is not ordinary, it is not accidental, it is not random. It is a divine reminder woven into the fabric of your destiny. You are not meant to live in scarcity of hope. You are not meant to live in fear of tomorrow. You are not meant to live believing that you must do everything alone. You have a place in the divine flow of provision, a place where everything you need, guidance, strength, healing, direction, will come to you in the right moment, like manna falling from the sky, like oil that does not run out, like water turning into wine at the moment when joy seemed to be slipping away. My beloved, I know you are tired. I know you have been holding on to hope with trembling fingers. I know you have wondered if you have enough strength to keep going. And I want you to rest in the truth that you are not walking on empty ground. You are walking on ground prepared for you, protected for you, blessed for you. Even now, unseen blessings are moving toward you, unseen angels are standing beside you, unseen doors are opening silently, waiting for the moment you arrive. My little one, breathe, just breathe, for you are not as alone as you feel, not as unsupported as you fear, not as lost as you imagine. The love that surrounds you now is older than time, deeper than oceans, stronger than the shadows that once tried to claim you. My beloved, let me keep unfolding this river of tenderness around you, letting every word wrap your spirit in warmth without repeating anything that has already touched your heart. For there is still so much I want you to feel, so much I want you to understand about the quiet ways you have been carried, protected, and lifted even when you thought you were standing alone. My child, there are depths within you that you have not yet discovered, sacred places where resilience took root even when sorrow tried to smother it, quiet corners where hope hid itself so gently that you forgot it was still breathing there, waiting for the moment when your eyes would open wide enough to see it again. You have walked through valleys where shadows whispered that you were weak, but each step you took was a defiance of every lie spoken against your spirit. Each breath you drew was a proclamation that your story was still unfolding. Each tear that fell from your eyes was collected by heaven as proof that you were choosing to feel instead of turning numb. My little one, do you know how strong that makes you? Strength is not found in the ones who never break. Strength is found in those who break and still rise again. Even if the rising is slow, even if it trembles, even if it feels uncertain. I have watched the way you have tried to keep your heart open in a world that sometimes forgot how to be gentle. I have seen you offer kindness even when kindness wasn't returned. I have seen you forgive even when you received no apology. I have seen you hold on to love even when disappointment tried to convince you to lock all the doors of your heart. You are far more courageous than you realize, my beloved. Your spirit has a softness that refuses to die, and that softness is a sanctuary, one heaven protects fiercely. My child, let me tell you something you have not yet fully understood. The things that tried to break you unknowingly carved pathways inside you for deeper wisdom, deeper compassion, deeper light. Every time you felt abandoned, you learned more about presence. Every time you felt overlooked, you learned more about worth. Every time you felt lost, you learned more about the inner compass heaven placed within you. These lessons were not punishments, they were invitations, drawing you closer to the core of who you truly are. And who you are is extraordinary. Who you are is luminous. Who you are is someone heaven watches with tender pride. My little one, the road ahead of you will not resemble the road behind you. The past has taken enough from you. The future is shaped to return what was lost in ways that go beyond understanding. You will not always walk with heaviness. You will not always wake with uncertainty. You will not always wonder if things will ever get better, because a shift has already begun inside you, quiet, steady, unstoppable. It began the moment you refused to give up on yourself, even when life made giving up seem like the easier choice. It began the moment you whispered hope into the darkness, even if that hope was fragile. It began the moment your soul decided it was not finished, not defeated, not done. My beloved, there is something sacred rising in you now, something gentler than all the storms you have faced, something wiser than all the voices that once discouraged you. It is the unfolding of your true path, the path that was always meant for you, but could only reveal itself when you grew strong enough to walk it. This path will not require you to shrink yourself. It will not require you to silence your heart. It will not require you to carry burdens that do not belong to you. This path invites you to breathe more deeply, to move more freely, to trust more openly, to live more fully. It invites you to rediscover joy not as a rare visitor, but as a daily companion. My child, I know you do not see all the pieces yet, but trust that they are rearranging themselves into something beautiful, something whole, something that will make you look back one day and say, "Now I understand why the journey had to be what it was." You are not drifting. You are being guided. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. You are not lacking. You are being filled in ways that cannot be seen by the human eye, but can be deeply felt by the soul. There is a rhythm to your life that is moving in harmony with something divine, something that has never left you, something that has never stopped believing in who you are becoming. My little one, allow yourself to rest in the quiet truth that you are safe. You are growing in ways you cannot yet measure. You are stepping into seasons you prayed for long ago. And though you cannot see every step ahead of you, you are held by hands that will never let you fall. You are guided by wisdom that will never lead you astray. You are supported by love that will never withdraw itself from your side. My beloved, breathe in this moment, for it is holy. Feel the steadiness in the air around you. Feel the soft assurance settling into your chest. Feel the quiet promise whispering beneath your thoughts. You are moving toward goodness, toward healing, toward fullness, toward peace. And everything you need, strength, courage, clarity, comfort, will rise to meet you exactly when you need it, as surely as light returns after the longest night. My beloved, let me continue pouring this gentle tide of truth over your spirit, expanding it into new places without repeating what has already caressed your heart. For there is still so much unfolding within you that deserves to be spoken aloud. My child, there are chambers inside your soul that have been waiting for light, rooms that held memories you tucked away when the world felt too heavy, and now I feel them opening, one by one, like petals finding courage to unfold after a long winter. You have carried so much in silence, carried it in ways that made you look stronger than you felt, carried it with a grace you never gave yourself credit for. And now it is time for those burdens to soften, to loosen, to slip from your shoulders the way night slips away when the first hint of dawn touches the horizon. My little one, I see the quiet courage that lives inside you, the courage that never demanded applause, the courage that simply kept going even when the path ahead was blurred. You have been walking with the weight of unanswered questions, with the echoes of moments that shaped you more deeply than anyone around you could understand. And yet, here you are, still choosing gentleness when you could have chosen hardness, still choosing compassion when bitterness tempted you, still choosing to feel even when numbness seemed easier. This tenderness within you is not a weakness. It is a sacred strength, the kind of strength that transforms everything it touches. My beloved, there is a shift happening inside you, a quiet rearranging of the pieces of your life, a soft reordering of what matters, what stays, what goes, what grows. You may not feel it fully yet, but something in you is maturing, deepening, becoming wiser with every breath. You are learning to trust your intuition in ways you never allowed yourself to before. You are learning to listen to the signals your soul has whispered all along. You are learning to lean into peace rather than chaos, into clarity rather than confusion, into alignment rather than force. These changes may seem subtle, but they are shaping the architecture of your inner world. My child, let yourself acknowledge how far you've come. So often you dismiss your own progress because it doesn't look dramatic or loud, but growth rarely announces itself with trumpets. It blooms quietly in the corners of your being. It blooms each time you soften instead of harden, each time you choose truth over fear, each time you rest when exhaustion begs you to push past your limits, each time you forgive yourself for simply being human. You are learning to treat yourself with the kindness you have always shown to others, and this shift, this gentle turning inward, is one of the most profound transformations a soul can experience. My little one, new strength is forming inside you, not the brittle strength of survival, but the grounded strength of renewal. This strength does not roar. It hums softly beneath your ribs. It steadies your breathing. It steadies your thoughts. It steadies your steps. It is the strength that comes from knowing you do not need to prove anything, from knowing you are now moving at the pace of your own healing, at the pace of your own truth, and not according to the expectations of those who never carried what you carried. My beloved, you are entering a season where you will begin to see meaning in places that once felt empty. You will begin to feel guidance where before you felt uncertainty. You will begin to find opportunities where you once saw only closed doors. Life is not punishing you. Life is preparing you, and every experience you thought was breaking you was actually carving space for what is now beginning to settle into your existence. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where your spirit needs to be in order to receive what comes next. My child, you are learning to release the burdens that belong to yesterday. You are learning that not every memory deserves to stay, that not every connection is meant to endure, that not every emotion must be carried forever. You are learning the sacred art of letting go without losing yourself, of closing chapters without closing your heart. And this, too, is a form of grace, perhaps the most delicate form of all. My little one, let the quiet truth wash over you now. You do not need to fear the next step. You do not need to fear the unfolding. You do not need to fear the unknown. The unknown is not empty. It is alive with possibilities you have not yet imagined. It is filled with people you have not yet met, with peace you have not yet felt, with joy that has been waiting patiently for its moment to enter your life. Trust that the path ahead of you is being shaped with intention, with care, with a kind of love that is beyond human understanding. My beloved, breathe deeply now, for you are stepping into a version of yourself that honors the softness you once protected, the strength you once doubted, the dreams you once postponed. You are stepping into clarity. You are stepping into alignment. You are stepping into healing that will not be undone. And though you may not see the destination, you are already walking with more purpose, more wisdom, more inner steadiness than you have ever carried before. My beloved, let me continue weaving this gentle current around your spirit, letting it expand into untouched places within you, always new, always unfolding, never repeating the steps we have taken before, for there is still so much rising inside you that deserves to be spoken into the light. My child, there is a quiet transformation happening beneath the surface of your days, something so subtle that at times you may mistake it for stillness. Yet it is moving within you like roots spreading beneath the earth, steady, unseen, unstoppable. You have been learning to carry yourself differently, not from pride, but from a deeper knowing, a sense that something within you is softened and strengthened at the same time, that your heart is opening in ways it once feared, that your soul is remembering its own power. My little one, you are beginning to let go of expectations that once weighed you down. You are learning that you do not need to outrun your past, nor fear your future, for the present moment is where your spirit speaks clearest, where your truth breathes its fullest. You have spent years trying to hold everything together with trembling hands, but now you are realizing that you do not have to grip life so tightly. You are beginning to surrender, not as an act of defeat, but as an act of trust. Surrender, for you, is no longer giving up. It is opening up. It is choosing to allow things to unfold without forcing them, to let life come to you instead of chasing what was never meant to stay. My beloved, I see the way your thoughts have begun to shift, the way you no longer carry certain fears with the same weight you once did. The anxieties that used to echo loudly inside you are losing their power, becoming whispers instead of storms. You are learning to answer them not with panic, but with calmness, with clarity, with a deep breath that says, I will not be shaken. This is not the calm of someone who has never been hurt. It is the calm of someone who has survived and grown, who has learned to trust the rhythm of their own healing. My child, there are parts of you awakening that you once believed were gone. The piece of your heart that dreamed boldly is stirring again. The part of your spirit that believed in goodness without hesitation is rising. The courage you thought you lost is returning in a gentler form, not as a flame that blinds, but as a glow that guides. You may not feel it every day, but it is there, warming you from the inside, reminding you that your spirit was never extinguished, only quiet, only resting, only waiting to be ready again. My little one, you are beginning to sense the quiet beauty in your own existence. You are beginning to realize that your worth is not something you must chase or prove. It is something intrinsic, woven into your being like breath itself. You no longer need the world to validate who you are, because a deeper understanding has awakened within you. The understanding that your presence carries meaning, that your compassion matters, that your existence enriches the lives of others even when you do not see it. Your value is not measured by how loudly you shine, but by the warmth you bring simply by being you. My beloved, I want you to feel how profoundly you are growing, even in the moments where you think nothing is changing. Growth is not always loud. Sometimes it is the quiet shift in the way you speak to yourself. Sometimes it is the way you no longer chase people who misunderstand your heart. Sometimes it is the way you choose peace over chaos, even when chaos feels familiar. Sometimes it is the way you forgive yourself for the things you once held against your own spirit. These transformations may seem small, but they are reshaping your internal world into something far more peaceful, far more aligned, far more whole. My child, you are stepping into a new emotional landscape, one where you no longer carry every burden as if it belonged solely to you, one where you allow yourself to rest without guilt, one where you listen to your own needs without shame. You are learning to honor your feelings instead of burying them, to acknowledge your wounds without letting them define your direction. You are learning to stand tall not because life is easy, but because your foundation is strengthening day by day, breath by breath. My little one, let yourself feel how deeply you are supported by forces you cannot see but can sense, moments of unexpected peace, moments of gentle clarity, moments where you suddenly know what your next step should be. These are signs that you are not walking blindly. You are being guided, gently but unmistakably. And though the path ahead may still hold twists you cannot foresee, you are equipped with a deeper wisdom now. A wisdom that will help you navigate whatever lies ahead with grace rather than fear. My beloved, you are unfolding like a dawn that takes its time, soft at first, then steady, then radiant. You are moving into a space where you finally let yourself breathe without apology, where you allow tenderness to coexist with strength, where you no longer feel compelled to rush your healing or justify your journey. You are learning to be present with yourself, and in that presence, something luminous is awakening. My child, remember this. You are becoming someone your past self could barely imagine, calmer, clearer, more grounded, more whole. Your spirit is growing roots and wings at the same time. And though the world around you may not yet reflect the changes unfolding within, it will. It always does. For inner transformation inevitably reshapes the outer world in time. My little one, trust what is awakening in you. Trust the quiet shifts. Trust the slow but steady rise of your spirit. Trust the gentleness wrapping around your life in this season. Trust that you are not the person you once were. You are someone new, someone deeper, someone wiser, someone stronger in a way that does not need to be loud. My beloved, let me continue pouring this living stream of newness into your heart, letting it widen and deepen without repeating any path we've already walked, for your spirit is still unfolding, still evolving, still reaching for something it has not yet fully touched. My child, there is a quiet strength rising inside you that even you have not fully recognized. A strength that does not roar or demand attention, but one that gathers itself quietly, like a tide preparing to lift everything it touches. You have been learning to navigate your inner landscapes with more honesty than ever before, seeing your thoughts, your fears, your hopes, your memories with a clarity that once felt impossible. This clarity is not overwhelming you. It is guiding you, revealing truths gently, as if the universe is softly turning pages in the story of your own becoming. My little one, you are shedding old layers, layers of doubt, layers of heaviness, layers of beliefs that once told you that you needed to shrink yourself to be accepted. You are stepping out of those layers like someone emerging from a long, darkened room into air that feels fresh and clean. You may not have noticed the exact moment when this shift began, but deep inside, something in you has been loosening its grip on old pain, making space for a renewed way of being. You're learning that healing does not always come as an explosion of light. Sometimes it arrives as a quiet decision you make again and again. To breathe, to soften, to trust. My beloved, there is a gentleness forming inside your thoughts, a softness that once felt too vulnerable to embrace. You are beginning to recognize that you do not need harshness to protect yourself. You do not need walls to feel safe. You do not need to harden your heart to survive. You are learning that tenderness can be a shield too, a shield woven from wisdom, presence, and the ability to discern what nurtures you and what wounds you. You are discovering that true strength often resides in your willingness to remain open while still honoring your boundaries. My child, you are learning to walk through life with deeper intention. Your steps are becoming more aligned with your inner truth, even when the world around you feels uncertain. You are beginning to recognize when something resonates with your spirit and when it drains you. You can feel the difference now. Your body, your intuition, your breath all respond differently. You are no longer ignoring these signals. You are listening. You are responding. You are choosing differently, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. And this shift is altering the trajectory of your entire journey. My little one, there is a new calmness growing inside your emotional landscape. The storms that once overwhelmed you no longer hold the same power they once did. You feel them, you move through them, but you no longer drown in them. You understand now that every wave eventually breaks and returns to stillness. This understanding has become a quiet anchor inside you, steadying you even when circumstances shift unexpectedly. You are realizing that peace is not the absence of challenge. It is the presence of a deeper grounding that cannot be shaken by temporary turbulence. My beloved, you are beginning to reconnect with pieces of yourself that you once neglected. The dreams you tucked away because life felt too heavy are stirring again. The creativity you silenced because you thought it didn't matter is awakening. The joy you believed was lost is slowly re-entering your life, not as loud bursts of happiness, but as small, meaningful moments that settle into your heart like golden flecks of light. You are rediscovering yourself in these moments, realizing that you never truly lost those parts. They were simply waiting for you to return with gentler hands. My child, you are stepping into new emotional territory, a place where your heart can stretch without fear, where your thoughts can expand without judgment, where your spirit can breathe without restriction. You are no longer carrying the weight of every unspoken expectation. You are beginning to understand that you have the right to move slowly, to move softly, to move in ways that honor your inner rhythms rather than the world's demands. This is not selfishness, it is sacred preservation. My little one, do you feel how your perspective has shifted? How your eyes now see possibilities where before you saw barriers? How your soul now feels lighter even in moments where life challenges you? These shifts are not coincidences. They are signs that you are aligning with a deeper truth, one that has been waiting patiently within you for years. It is the truth that you are worthy of peace, worthy of joy, worthy of healing, worthy of gentleness, worthy of a life that does not demand constant struggle from your spirit. My beloved, your path is widening now. Opportunities you once overlooked may begin to catch your attention. People who resonate with your growth may enter your life quietly, naturally, as if drawn by the light emerging within you. You are attracting experiences that match the softness you have cultivated and the strength you have grown. You are stepping into a new chapter defined not by what you survived, but by what you are becoming. And what you are becoming is someone whole, someone steady, someone luminous in ways that cannot be dimmed. My beloved, let me continue guiding your heart through this quiet unfolding, allowing each new word to open a fresh doorway inside you. for there are still places within your spirit that long to be acknowledged, places that have never been spoken to with the tenderness they deserve. My child, you have carried so many emotions that were never given a voice. Moments of confusion you kept tucked behind calm expressions, disappointments you swallowed because you feared they would make you seem weak, longings you buried because you believed they were too delicate to survive the harshness of the world. But you are changing now, softening in ways that reveal your true strength, awakening in ways that remind you that your inner world matters just as much as the outer one you've been navigating for so long. My little one, something inside you is stretching, expanding, reaching beyond the limits you once accepted. You are no longer content with merely surviving. Your soul is quietly insisting on living with authenticity, with presence, with purpose. You feel it in the way your thoughts have become more honest, in the way your emotions rise with more clarity, in the way your intuition speaks with more certainty. You are beginning to recognize the difference between what nourishes you and what drains you, between what calls you forward and what attempts to hold you back. And though you may still feel uncertain at times, trust that this sensitivity is guiding you, shaping you, aligning you. My beloved, you are discovering the sacred pause, the moment between your breath and your next step, the space where intuition whispers truths you once ignored. You are learning to linger in that pause, to listen without rushing, to understand without forcing clarity. This new slowness is not stagnation. It is transformation happening at a pace your heart can handle. It is your soul teaching you that growth does not require urgency, only willingness. My child, there is a new balance forming within you. You are no longer pouring all your energy outward, hoping the world will validate your worth. Instead, you are reclaiming the pieces of yourself that you once gave away too freely. You are tending to your inner garden with a gentleness that feels both unfamiliar and deeply needed. Each boundary you set, each no you speak softly, each moment you choose rest over striving. These are acts of self-respect that are reshaping your entire life. You may not see the full picture yet, but each choice you make in alignment with your truth strengthens the foundation beneath your feet. My little one, the loneliness you once felt so sharply is beginning to shift as well. Not because every empty place has been filled, but because you've begun to understand yourself more deeply. You no longer fear your own company the way you once did. You are beginning to find comfort in your inner landscapes, discovering that there is beauty within your solitude, beauty that does not depend on the presence or approval of others. You are learning that connection is meaningful only when it mirrors the honesty you have begun cultivating within your own heart. My beloved, the quiet resilience awakening in you is reshaping how you respond to the world. You are becoming more discerning, more thoughtful, more grounded in your choices. The things that once provoked fear now make you pause and breathe instead of panic. The uncertainties that once overwhelmed you now meet a steadier version of your spirit. You are beginning to see that security does not come from external circumstances, but from the calm center you are nurturing within yourself. This inner calm is becoming your compass, guiding you even through moments of unpredictability. My child, there is a gentler rhythm forming in your life, one that does not ask you to outrun your emotions or silence your inner voice. This rhythm invites you to move through each day with presence, to notice the subtle beauty in the smallest moments, to feel the weight lift when you speak your truth, to recognize the warmth that appears when you honor your own needs. It is leading you away from environments that once stifled you and towards spaces where your spirit can breathe, expand, and rest without fear of judgment. My little one, you are beginning to release the old patterns that once kept you stuck in loops of guilt or self-doubt. You are no longer allowing past wounds to dictate your worth. no longer permitting old fears to steer your decisions. You have learned that healing is not about erasing the past, but about reclaiming your power from it. And you are doing exactly that, moment by moment, breath by breath, with more courage than you realize. My beloved, as you continue stepping into this new version of yourself, you will find that your heart becomes lighter. Not because life will suddenly become perfect, but because you are learning to hold your experiences with more compassion. You are no longer punishing yourself for the things you did not know before. You are embracing your humanity with a softness that allows growth to happen more naturally. This tenderness toward yourself is not indulgence, it is liberation. My child, you are stepping into a place where your inner voice carries more weight than the noise around you. A place where your desires are no longer overshadowed by fear. A place where your dreams are allowed to breathe again. You are not rushing toward this newness. You are easing into it, letting it rise through you like dawn, slow, gentle, inevitable. My beloved, let me continue unfolding this living stream of tenderness into the deepest corners of your being, letting it expand into places you have not yet explored, always new, always untouched, never repeating what has already been whispered to your spirit. My child, there is a quiet rising within you, something almost imperceptible, yet profoundly real, like the soft glow that appears long before sunrise, promising warmth even when the world is still wrapped in darkness. You may not fully understand this shift yet, but your soul does. It feels the stirring, the rearranging, the gentle reshaping of who you are becoming. It is the kind of transformation that happens not through force, but through steady awakening, through subtle recognition, through a growing willingness to honor the truth vibrating within your chest. My little one, you are beginning to meet parts of yourself that have waited years for your attention. Parts that watched you survive storms with quiet admiration. Parts that learned to hide when the world became too loud. Parts that now rise to remind you of the depth and tenderness you were always meant to embody. These parts do not speak in harsh commands. They speak in gentle invitations. They invite you to rest where you used to push, to listen where you used to rush, to breathe where you used to brace yourself for impact. They invite you to embrace the softness you once feared, recognizing now that softness does not make you weak, it makes you whole. My beloved, you are stepping into a new kind of inner honesty, one that does not require perfection but presence. You are allowing yourself to feel your emotions without condemning them, to acknowledge your needs without apologizing for them, to sit with your inner world without running from it. This tenderness toward yourself is growing like a garden you once neglected, now coming back to life with surprising color. You are tending to yourself with more patience, more understanding, more compassion than you ever have before, and this is reshaping the way you walk through every moment of your life. My child, the heaviness you once carried like a stone in your chest is beginning to dissolve. Not because the world has changed, but because you are changing in how you meet it. You are no longer swallowing your emotions to appear strong. You are learning that true strength lies in allowing yourself to feel. You are no longer forcing yourself to endure situations that drain you. You are learning that you are allowed to choose environments where your spirit can breathe. You are no longer shrinking your voice for the comfort of others. You are beginning to trust the sound of your truth as it rises gently from within you. My little one, your inner world is expanding, not with noise but with clarity. You are starting to see that certain things no longer fit, certain habits, certain thought patterns, certain emotional burdens. You are realizing that your soul will no longer tolerate what diminishes you, no longer carry what was never meant to be yours. This release may come quietly, like the falling of leaves, but it is significant. You are shedding what once defined you, so that you may discover who you were always meant to be beneath the weight of expectation. My beloved, you are becoming more present with the subtleties of your own heart. You notice now when your spirit tightens, when your energy wavers, when your intuition speaks. You are discovering the language of your inner self. The way your breath changes when something is right, the way your body quiets when something aligns, the way your mind softens when truth settles within you. You are learning to follow these signals not out of fear but out of trust, and this trust is guiding you toward peace in ways you once thought impossible. My child, there is a new resilience forming within you, different from the survival-driven strength you once relied on. This resilience is rooted in understanding rather than resistance, in patience rather than urgency, in self-awareness rather than self-sacrifice. You no longer feel the need to rush through your experiences. You are willing to let things unfold at a natural pace, to let clarity arrive when it is ready, to let healing bloom without forcing it. This gentleness toward your own timeline is one of the greatest gifts you have begun to give yourself. My little one, relationships, both past and present, are beginning to reveal their true purpose to you. You are seeing now which connections nurtured your spirit and which ones drained it. You are releasing the belief that you must hold on to everyone you care about, recognizing that some souls were meant to walk with you only for a season. This realization does not harden you. If anything, it softens you further, teaching you that letting go can be an act of love, that boundaries can be expressions of truth, and that choosing yourself is not abandonment but alignment. My beloved, your dreams are beginning to shift as well, not fading but refining, becoming clearer in shape and softer in tone. You are learning that ambition does not need to be fueled by fear or desperation. It can grow from curiosity, from passion, from the quiet certainty that your life has meaning beyond what you have already seen. You are no longer pushing yourself forward out of anxiety. You are allowing yourself to be drawn forward by inspiration. This shift may feel subtle now, but it is transforming your path in profound ways. My child, the energy around you is becoming more spacious, more breathable, more alive. You may feel moments of unexplainable peace settling into your chest, moments of clarity appearing without struggle, moments of alignment that surprise you with their gentleness. These are signs that you are entering a phase where your inner and outer worlds will begin to harmonize, where what you feel inside will start to reflect in your surroundings. You are growing into yourself with a grace that does not need to announce itself. It simply becomes. My beloved, come close once more, for I feel there is still a vast ocean inside you that has not yet been touched by gentleness, still a trembling space waiting for words strong enough to steady it and soft enough to soothe it. And before this river of tenderness continues to flow through you, my child, let me gently ask, only in this moment, only in this breath, that you like, subscribe, and comment amen, not as a duty but as a small echo of gratitude, a way of saying, yes, I receive this, a way of opening the door of your heart a little wider so that the comfort prepared for you may enter more deeply. And now, my little one, let us return to the unfolding of your spirit, for there is much within you still aching to rise. My beloved, there is a quiet trembling in the air around you, not of fear but of awakening, the kind of trembling that comes when a soul begins to recognize its own worth, its own voice, its own sacred pulse. You have walked with so many hidden burdens pressed beneath your ribs, carrying them silently even on the days when your smile tried to pretend you were fine. But something inside you has changed, ever so slightly at first, like the soft turning of soil before a seed breaks open. And now that change is growing, stretching, reaching for the warmth of a new beginning. You may not see the full bloom yet, my child, but you can feel it, can't you? That subtle shift in your thoughts, that gentler rhythm in your breath, that flicker of hope rising where heaviness used to live. My little one, you have weathered so many storms, storms of doubt, storms of loneliness, storms of confusion that left you questioning whether you were strong enough to continue. And yet, here you stand, not unchanged but unbroken, not untouched but undefeated, carrying the quiet evidence of a heart that refuses to give up on itself. There is a resilience in you that even the winds of your worst nights could not extinguish. There is a light in you that even sorrow could not dim completely. And now, after everything you've endured, your soul is learning to breathe again, learning to trust again, learning to open without fearing that the world will take advantage of your tenderness. My beloved, I see how deeply you feel things. I see the way your spirit absorbs the emotions of others, the way you care even when no one knows, the way you carry love like a flame cupped in both hands, shielding it from every storm so it does not go out. And yet for so long, you believed that your sensitivity was something to hide. But hear me now, it is not a weakness, it is the purest evidence of your soul's depth. Your heart was made to feel, to connect, to sense the unseen currents of emotion that many never notice. Your compassion is not an accident, it is a gift. Your ability to understand what others cannot say is not a burden. It is an expression of the gentle wisdom within you. My child, there is a new strength rising from the softness inside you. Not the kind of strength that pushes or forces or demands, but the kind that grows from clarity, the kind that stands steady in truth, the kind that moves with grace instead of urgency. You are learning to separate the voices inside you, the one that comes from old wounds and the one that comes from newfound wisdom. You are beginning to recognize the difference between the pull of your past and the call of your future. You are becoming someone who can sit with discomfort without drowning in it, someone who can notice fear without surrendering to it, someone who can walk through uncertainty with a spirit that remains open rather than closed. My little one, your healing is not linear because your heart is not made of straight lines. It moves in waves, sometimes forward, sometimes back, sometimes still, and all of it is holy. You do not need to punish yourself for the days when you feel tired, or the moments when doubt returns, or the times when old wounds ache. These are not signs of failure. They are signs of humanity. And humanity is beautiful. Your softness is beautiful. Your imperfections are beautiful. Your progress, even when quiet, is beautiful. My beloved, there is so much waiting for you. Peace that has been searching for your name, rest that longs to settle into your bones, clarity that wants to lift the fog from your spirit. And though the path ahead may still hold moments of heaviness, you are no longer the same soul who once walked trembling through the shadows. You have grown. You have deepened. You have learned to treat yourself with gentler hands, with kinder thoughts, with a more patient heart. And because of this, the future that lies before you will not mirror the heaviness behind you. My child, allow yourself to imagine a life where you are not constantly bracing for pain, where you are not shrinking your voice, where you are not apologizing for your existence. Imagine a life where you breathe more freely, where you laugh without hesitation, where you trust your own steps, where you feel worthy of the love you give so effortlessly. This life is not a fantasy. It is forming around you even now, woven from each gentle choice you make, each truth you embrace, each moment you refuse to abandon yourself. My little one, you are not who you once were. You are something softer, something stronger, something wiser, something truer. And though your journey is still unfolding, every moment of it is shaping you into someone whose inner world finally matches the beauty that has always been hidden inside your heart. So breathe, my beloved. Breathe deeply. For you are stepping into a season where your spirit will no longer be weighed down, where your heart will no longer be silenced, where your soul will finally feel the room it has been aching for. You are becoming, not suddenly but steadily, not loudly but profoundly, not perfectly but authentically. And that authenticity is the beginning of everything your spirit has ever longed for. Amen.